Hello and welcome back to the channel. So happy that you clicked. I make videos for different reasons, mostly for fun, but also education. This is my first video where I think I sort of tackle a social issue. I'm aware that the topic I'm about to tackle involves men. I do not want to speak for men. I cannot really talk about their experiences. I do admit that they have many issues that they're dealing with. And there is no problem with men coming together and trying to find a solution for the issues that face men, just as we women come together and look for solutions to the problems that we face on a day to day basis. So, the issues that we have been created by the society that we have created, capitalism. Some things are under, beyond our control, culture, things like that. And some things we have choices. We can make choices. So let's be educative, constructive, and so on. I am not here to attack this guy called Kibe, because I think I sort of have empathy, I guess, for him. My intention with this video is to start a discussion that we can build upon. Sorry, the internet and has content which is shaping the society and planting seeds in our youth. And so these discussions need to be had, especially when someone is so popular and spreading a whole lot of ideas which may not really be helpful or create any what do you call it, harmony. It's not about battling between the sexes, between men and women. I think we should be able to work together. So I'm going to start with talking about the manosphere. You may have heard about the manosphere, and I'll give a definition which I found. The manosphere is a collection of websites, blogs, and online forums promoting and radicalizing men into misogynistic beliefs and the glorification of violence against women, strong and a strong opposition to feminism. So this manosphere came up as a strong opposition to feminism, and most of the speakers, the manosphere, the Kevin Samuels, basically started from America. And we have to realize that there's a different climate in America. They have, of course, different issues. But the algorithms and the internet, you know how they work. If something is popular in America and, those Western countries, then it will trickle down to the rest of us here in Africa. And then it also becomes a source of money. It becomes more about making money than actually changing the society or shaping the society. Basically, whatever content people are consuming, that's what is most people make more of. And if you're a content creator, you'll notice that you always have to look at what is trending, what are people talking about, so that you can get more views and get more money. And so that's what I wanted to talk about, because Kibe didn't just come out of nowhere. If you look at the ideas and how he talks about women and how he talks about men and the kind of masculinity that he promotes, then you can really see that it comes from this manosphere or whatever. I'm not saying that he glorifies violence or anything, but in a way it is violence, but it is verbal, verbal abuse, and just a whole lot of talk that is just ugh. So we have to realize where this comes from. So he gets the ideas from there because that's what's popular in the internet. And then there is no Kenyan doing this. And then he Kenyanizes the whole thing, comes up with different terms, lambistic, Ganudia, whatever. And if you look at those terms, you will find parallels in the manosphere. I think lambistic would be simp, maybe, or Yeah, beta men, yeah, there's all these kinds of things, alpha men, alpha male, beta male, all kinds of things that they've come up with. So I think that when you look at the society and the issues that are plaguing our society, you cannot just look at it like that. You have to look at reports, what sociologists are saying, you know, you have to understand sex dynamics, human dynamics, and I just feel like you cannot view women in one lens. I just feel like the way the discussion is led is like they don't see us as complex human beings with compassion, empathy, intellect, any nuance at all. They just see us as, you know, first you're not it feels dehumanizing. It feels like we are just out here to, sleep around with men and have sex and be whores and, just take their money. And, it's just a really one sided, sort of narrow way of seeing a human being. And also just knowing that the fears that we have and the worries that we have placed by society, what society has told us about the standards of beauty, about our homes, which apparently belong to the society, about what should make us happy, about how we should live. You know, our value comes from having children and being married. But at the same time, don't be a baby mama because then your promiscuity is what led you there. Just a whole bunch of contradictions in being a woman in general. And I just feel like it's not a good thing that he's teaching the younger generation, teaching young men to value sex and status and materialism and see women in just this very narrow um, lens over just being just be a decent human being. And you cannot blame the modern women for, all the things that come. Sometimes if you want to look for solutions, it's better to look for solutions without just blaming the woman. Like that is a low blow. That is a low blow. And so then basically encouraging men to marry kienyeji, which is, if you look at the manosphere, then that would be the traditional woman, conservative, blind submission. The manosphere demands a lot of submission. That is one thing. And then there is this promotion of the alpha male mentality. Women are there to serve you. You're the king. you know. So I would suggest, if you would like to know more about the alpha male mentality, you can go to Teen War. She has a YouTube channel and a video called Surviving Alpha Male Mentality. Teen War, sorry about the dogs, guys. I'm out here grinding at night. Teen Noir is Teennoir, Surviving Alpha Male Mentality. And she makes a really, really informed breakdown with sociology background and um, talking about the sex dynamics and how, like not looking at things at a surface level and just blaming men, blaming women, but looking at what has brought up the kind of dynamics that we have. So yeah, the world has awakened to the love of embarrassing and hating on women, and I think that is just so sad. It's so sad. And also shaming men who love women, shaming men who are not subscribing to the kind of masculinity that they promote, because apparently there's only one way of being masculine. I don't get it. Like, it is just really radicalizing men basically and telling them to be hyper masculine, and it doesn't help. it doesn't help them, because you can see the amount of people committing suicide and not being able to talk about their problems, depression, suicide, mental health. Like, we have a lot of problems at this time. For you to start promoting this sort of hyper masculinity, don't cry, guys, don't cry, masculinity is this, masculinity is that. You're caging people. A lot of people are so sad. They're struggling. They're depressed. I mean, look at what's happening to the economy. Everything is rising, you know. So we need to encourage people to open up more. This aggression and ego driven sort of unhealthy way of coping with life is not the way. It's not the way to go. And so for me, I encourage young men who are growing up, out there, when you are listening to people on the internet, take it with a grain of salt. Try to do your research. Ask yourself, why is this person the way they are? Are they doing this out of their own traumas? Or are they doing this and making money and popularity? Or are they doing this to really solve a social problem? You know, there is this word which I came across in one of those videos. Oh, forgotten the name of the person, but I will be sure to find out and link below, because these are not my ideas, or I got them from listening to this person and they made so much sense. So there is a word called edge lord. I want you to go look it up in the dictionary and tell me if this is not Kibe. An edgelord is a person who affects a provocative or extreme persona, especially online. So these are people who want that persona of being a rebel, so that people can admire them as rebels. And most of the time, these are people who probably didn't make it in the conventional sense, like, conventional and acceptable behavior. They reject that, and then they attach to problematic thoughts and, controversial things. And they have like these far right ideologies. You can read about far right ideologies. These are ideologies which gravitate towards patriarchy and misogyny, the rise of the Donald Trump era. So yeah, everything is kind of related to everything. And you might wonder why. Why do women still support these people? Why do women still gravitate towards this kind of ideologies? And studies attribute that to several issues, like, number one, they fear social exclusion. They don't want to be excluded, in the environment. You want to be included, you want to belong. Then there's also the financial aspect, they don't want to experience financial strain. So they will support this kind of ideas. And women's values usually determine what they support, even when it comes to political ideologies and social ideologies. Because for women, we look at things with quite a narrow lens. Like, we just look at domestic issues, children, childcare. And so these people who are far right really promote the things that we like, They talk up, like, you see even how Kibe talks about how important it is for you to have children, and, the family and everything. So then they know where to get your mind, and then when you hear that, you forgive all the other crap that they're talking about. So you could actually contrast this to the rhetoric that he's, just focusing those on those same domestic issues, so that women can, allow him to keep with the verbal diarrhea and demeaning people, and they will stick around, and yeah, so these edge lords and people like this, they spend so much time not pursuing what is important to them, but they will spend all their time actively destroying what is important to others. Like, why do you need to if somebody has a certain view of how they should treat their woman, or how they should treat their marriage, why do you spend so much time pursuing, things that are important to others? You know, these are some of those things that um, edge loads do. Anyway, I don't want to make this video so long. I will make a part two. Maybe we'll keep on the discussion, but let me know below what you think about this. I've done a lot of name dropping because I couldn't really go into detail so much, but of course, you can go into detail and read more about this. Go to T Noir about alpha male mentality. There's also a video dissecting the manosphere. And I am sorry, like I have forgotten the name of this person, but I also got a lot from listening to his video. So make sure you check the description on this video on dissecting the manosphere. Then you will understand where all these ideas from Kibe come from, why they are popular on the internet, why it's the in thing, people making money from that, and why at the end of the day it might not necessarily be about sorting societal issues or bringing men together or creating a platform for men to air out their issues, but a bit more about money. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. This is my very first video of this kind, but I really felt like it's something that I should talk about. I've been getting a lot um, of course, when people rise on YouTube, I follow a lot of Kenyan YouTubers, so I come across Kibe's content, and I was looking at it. I'm like, why is this guy talking like this? I don't get it. Why is he abusing people out of nowhere? So I decided to make a video on this because, yeah, it's needed. Let's start the discussion. Let's have this discussion. Anyway, have a good one. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Bye.